everyone, Griff Hamlin here. Welcome and thanks for joining me today. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a couple of different things, but things that go very much together. The first thing is, we're going to talk about what it means to play in time. You hear this a lot. You know, people say, oh, you got to play in time, you got to have good time, you got to count, you got to play, have good rhythm, good sense of time, good clock, good feel, good meter. There's so many different things we call it. But if you're new to playing guitar, new to soloing, even new to rhythm playing, any kind of playing guitar, you might hear this and kind of wonder, really, what does that mean exactly? What does it mean to have good time or to play in time? So we're going to talk about that, and then while we're at it, I'll kind of demonstrate a little bit. I sort of did it coming into this video, a way you can practice something simple like box 1 of your blues scale to practice having good time while you're playing, okay? And so we're going to it kind of gets rid of the idea that you're going to play something exceptionally cool, but it lets you focus on the rhythm. So what does it mean to have good time? Well, plain and simple, it means that you're playing your notes on the beat or on a subdivision of the beat. Now, I was using a slow blues as an example, and the slow blues is, we generally say it's in 12/8 time. 12/8 time means 12 beats per minute, or beats per measure, excuse me. By the way, a measure and a minute are kind of the same thing if you think about them. It's a unit of time. But aside from that, 12 beats in a measure, an eighth, the bottom note is the 8, so an eighth note gets 1 beat. So 12 eighth notes in a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? Since the top number divides by 3, we are going to divide it by 3. Okay? This is a complex meter, I believe. I get complex and compound backwards. This is a complex time signature, I'm pretty sure. Not a compound time signature, but I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. That being the case, instead of counting, it doesn't make sense to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's counting every single eighth note that goes by, right? So the first thing that you should be able to do is listen to a song, a slow blues song, all right? I'm going to use a jam track. This is from my Blues Guitar Unleashed. It's the jam track that goes with the 4th solo example, which happens to be a slow blues. But there are half a dozen of them in Blues Guitar Unleashed, and there's thousands of them out in the universe. Turn on Stormy Monday. Turn on, not The Thrill Is Gone, because that's a straight feel, but turn on Texas Flood. Turn on The Sky Is Crying. There's so many famous slow blues songs. You should be able to listen to it and count along with the beat. So I'm going to hit play on my jam track, which is right off the camera here, and I'm going to do that. Check it out.
2.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. You might hear the snare drum. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the snare drum tends to hit on beats 2 and 4. That's called a backbeat. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. In this case, there's a hi-hat ticking away. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay, so it's pretty easy to hear that as it goes by. So what you want to do is, anytime you're listening to a slow blues song, if it's not super immediate, if you can't right away, you just know where the beat is, try counting it right along with whatever song you're listening to. And again, it could be, Stormy Monday. It could be, not Reconsider Baby. That's a little bit fast. But there's a lot of slow blues tunes out there. Sky is Crying, Red House, Texas Flood, I think I mentioned. There's so many slow blues songs out there. You just count along with them, and you'll get more and more and more comfortable. And what you want to pay attention to, what you want to get really, really good at hearing is the down beats. So we have 1 and da. The 1 is the downbeat. 2 and da. 2 is a downbeat. 3, and 3 is the downbeat. Beat 1 has a little bit more importance than the rest. Okay, beat 1 is just a little bit more important. So a good way to practice this. Also, the thing about beat 1 is going back to the origins of blues. Beat 1, if you think about the old slave songs, that beat 1 was the hit. It was the call. And then you'd have the response. So that's why I always say don't play on beat 1. When you play solos, it really sounds good if you can not start on beat 1. Okay, so what I was doing as we were coming into this video was I was taking just a simple G minor box 1, the blues scale. 3rd fret, 6th fret, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 3rd, 5th, 3rd, 5th, 6th, 3rd, 6th, 3rd, 6th. In case you're not familiar with that, but you should be. And what I was doing was letting beat 1 go by. So I'd count 1 and I maybe start on the or maybe I'd start on 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And then when I get to the next one, I would kind of let it hang out there for a beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So always on beat 1, I'd either play nothing or I'd just kind of hang out there. Now, I'm just playing the scale up and down. But every time beat 1 comes along, you're going to have to hold a note, okay? Well, here's what's kind of cool. If you get yourself in a situation where, let's say it's the 4 chord going on, maybe on that downbeat, and you play this note over that chord, it's not going to be a super pretty sound. It's not necessarily wrong, but it's maybe not the best choice. Okay, so what's kind of cool is that as you get better at this, not only will you get good at counting the beats, but you'll also get better at listening to the chord changes, because you'll start to know, okay, this is the 1 chord, and then you'll hear the band move, and you can go, oh, this is the 4 chord. Okay, well, this note wasn't probably the best choice right there, so let's try that one, which, of course, would make perfect sense because that's the root. Things like that. And it's not that there's right or wrong answers here, because I never like to say that's the right note. There's really no such thing. It's the note that you want to hear. But there are notes that are generally regarded, we like them. They're part of the sound. It's what we've heard our whole lives. So those are the sounds that our ears are going to gravitate towards. So with a little bit of experimentation like that, you can find which of those notes within the scale you like the best over different chords. And since you're concentrating on the beats and you're concentrating on the chord changes, that you're not trying to play some fancy lick. You're just playing through the scale and listening. This gets you listening a lot better to what's going on. And that's often a big problem for new improvisers and new guitar players in general. You're so focused on how to do it that it's tough to open your ears and actually listen to what's coming out. And so that's what I'm hoping that you'll be able to do from this little lesson and this little exercise. Okay? So again, as an active listening thing, anytime you're listening to a song, be trying to count it out. Be trying to feel that beat. Be trying to count those beats as they come by. The slow blues is going to be nice and easy because it's nice and slow. Straight feel songs won't be in triplets. They'll be in 4/4 time, which is 4 quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And generally speaking, that's how that goes. You can have what's called a shuffle feel written in 4/4. All that kind of stuff is possible, but when you're counting it, it's still 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So there's no sense in really talking about it any differently. All right, so hopefully that kind of makes sense, and you can play with it and really just put on any slow blues jam track you can find and just work with playing that box 1 right in time. Having good time, playing in time means that every time that happens, you are striking a note. So it's, you know, 1 and da, 2 and da. I'm not like 2 and where I'm playing, you know, not on the beat. 1 and 2 and not 1 and 2 and 3, right? And obviously I'm, you know, exaggerating for effect, but I think you get the idea. Every note happens at a specific place in time. It's really, really important. It's probably one of the single most fundamental things about playing guitar that is most often overlooked, right? So again, I hope in this video I've impressed upon you how important that is, and given you a little something to practice with today. So I hope you have fun with that, and I look forward to talking to you soon.